All right, everybody. Welcome back to LWN Network. We are live tonight, and we do have the call center set up and ready to go. If anybody wants to call in, let me turn that son of a bitch off. Okay, so we got a lot to cover tonight. Tammy is with me. Jeff B has been invited. I think I seen him there in chat, so he'll probably jump in here in a little bit. But Tammy's got some stuff she wants to talk about. We're gonna talk about a number of things. Honestly, I can't even begin to explain how crazy things are, and so just going to be a pretty laid back, up to date, getting caught up, finding out what's going on in our crazy world that we live in tonight. And then, like I said, Jeff B's been invited. I'm sure he'll jump in here. He's got some stuff that he'd probably want to cover as well. And again, we got the call center set up, ready to go, and we'll be back right after this, if I can figure out how to do this shiz-a-dizzle. Let's go for it. All right, we're back. Hold on just a second. Mute that. And I'll bring Tammy in. How's it going, Tammy?
Hey, good. How are you?
Uh-oh. You're muted, too. What the heck's going on?
I don't know.
Holy shit, we got a train wreck. There we go.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, but I'm afraid maybe I didn't mute the right thing. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? I got so much shit going on over here. Okay.
If we can hear each other and there's no echo. Okay. That's all we care about, right?
That's very, very important. So I don't know if there was any I don't know if there was any sound for the intro or not. There wasn't anything. Well, all right. Well, that's pretty normal when we're not a well-oiled machine here doing it every night. So it just is. I don't know.
It happens, but yeah. So it's been a minute again, but it's
been 1 week. Tammy, calm down. Last time somebody said it was a month. It was actually 3 weeks.
I'm always cracking the whip, you guys.
We did a show last week, I believe it was. So
yeah, I'm always cracking the whip. Yep. But anyhow, there is a lot going down there. I agree with you on around the world these days, and it's hard to keep up, and we keep saying that, but that's why we're going to skim through some things. And it looks like Jeff B's in the house as well. But there was somebody in chat that said that's their first time listening on Facebook. So welcome to, I think her name was
Debbie Golden. Yeah, she's been around a while. It's just the first time on Facebook.
Yeah, so just welcome everybody. It's good to see you all. Missed you. And Jeff B, how's it going?
Good. Mike kind of looks like a cross between Ray Charles and Wolfman Jack.
He kind of is.
Hey, did you guys hear? Did you guys hear the breaking news about California?
No.
Jeff?
With the hats?
No, about truck drivers.
No.
Are you serious? You have not heard? So this is first time breaking news on LWN Network right now for California truck drivers?
Well, go. What is it?
They are now issuing Ray Charles a trucking license to drive truck in California.
Get out. That's a joke. Get out.
Ray Charles is dead.
Yeah, I'm like, is it
blind.
AI?
And blind.
Yeah.
This is insanity already.
Maybe it was what's the other one that always has a smile on his face when he's
Stevie Wonder.
Maybe it was Stevie Wonder. I don't know. They're both very similar to me. They both have amazing music and songs. But I think I seen that the other day on Facebook where they're issuing either Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder a driver's license for commercial vehicles in the state of California.
That makes sense for California, the way things are going there, With Gavin Newsom, oh my gosh, he just keeps putting himself deeper and deeper in his crap pile, that's for sure. You know how he's shoveling it, he can't get enough. He went and he wanted nothing to do with controlling crime and stuff there, saying everything's fine, and now he's totally backpedaled on that, and he had some kind of presser with all these people around him, and it was just so embarrassing. He's just so cringy, as the young kids would say.
Well, I believe, and maybe Jeff can chime in on this, I believe Gavin Newsom is doing what he's doing right now because he's putting in a bid for 2028.
Well, did you see where somebody keeps shipping Trump 2028 hats to his office?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's people here in Idaho that are wearing Trump 2028 hats.
I don't know. There's something weird to it because now there's a news article that came out that they're going to change the name of the Department of Defense back to Department of War.
Ooh. Interesting.
That doesn't sound good.
No.
Well, he talks about law and order all the time, and sometimes it takes battles in order for that to come into fruition. When you look at how he's taken over D.C. and sending National Guard and troops out and everything, and federalizing people, there's so many that are going against that already, and I don't, for the life of me, understand why people wouldn't want their towns safer and cities safer. And they say it's a dictatorship, and it is absolutely not. When you let the world become a jungle in the streets of every city, that's what's crazy to me.
Yeah. Here's the other thing real quick. Boise State is down 7-17. I don't like that, so I'm paying attention to that while I'm doing this other stuff. That's starting to irritate the shit out of me. But on a lighter note, we've talked about this lots of times and about how he is definitely starting to federalize D.C., which is not an actual state. I know for the last few years. We've talked about how the Democrats are actually trying to make it a state so that they can get more electorals votes in Congress, and how they are now gerrymandering all kinds of states, and the Republicans are doing the same thing right now. It's an all-out brawl, and I would like to hear Jeff's point of view on this, but it's an all-out brawl. I believe that 2026 is again, we keep saying this each and every election cycle, every 2 years, that this is the most important election cycle. And I do believe to get everything done that has to be done within the next 3 years, we have to retain the House and the Senate. And obviously we have the White House until 2028. But, man, I tell you what, if they win anything, either one of those two chambers, it's a lame duck session for the last 2 years. What do you think about that, Jeff?
I have, and I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that with all the law enforcement basically under Trump's purview, now you have, I think they said 250 JAG attorneys that were flown in from all over, I guess you could say, the world, from all branches of military.
To D.C.,
Yeah.
correct?
Correct. Now you have this morning, you had busloads of line officers being brought in, which I'm guessing that's probably the jury pool. You're going to have the 2020 election come out. We may see where everybody has to re-register to vote before the midterms.
Yeah,
I
there
believe
was
that.
something that went out about that. And I can't remember if you put that in the group chat or not, Jeff, but pretty interesting stuff.
Well, everything's getting exposed now, all that was hearsay and all that people laughing at Mike Lindell and all these people, Rudy Giuliani, and everybody that was coming after all the voting situation and all the, going on with the machines. Now it's coming out. Like, what I'm finding is there's a lot of litigation that is starting to take place. We talked about disclosure, and now it seems like it's in action with subpoenas and raids and everything else. We're in the action phase, and I think that's when we're going to, next up will be the court phase, where we see things.
It just came out this week that Donald Trump is considering signing an executive order to get rid of the machines for 2026 and get back to paper ballots. What do you know about that, Jeff?
I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was already drafted to be signed. I think we're really going to have to watch this DC. I think this is a test run, meaning they're able to bubble Washington DC. And we've been saying, well, is there going to be court martials, military tribunals at Gitmo? They may just do it right in DC. If all of DC is secured, and they may do the you don't bring in all these JAG attorneys and all these line officers into DC to have a court martial for an E3 that punched a cop during a night bender.
Right.
Real quick to the audience, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this out if you guys can help us out on that, help grow the channel. Tammy is under the weather tonight. Last week I was sick, and she was kind of filling in for me, taking over. And so she has graced us with her presence tonight, even though she's not feeling well. So prayers for Tammy tonight, if you guys can do that for us so that she gets feeling a little bit better. She's better than yesterday, but still under the weather a little bit. Jeff B., can you talk a little bit about these payphones in D.C.?
Well, they're not in D.C. The payphones are being installed in New York City.
Why?
Right. Why? I mean, does anybody? I mean, I know I do, but does anybody really know how to use payphones anymore?
Oh, it's been a while. I've used them.
Right.
Does anybody even carry change anymore? You know, like,
Well,
is it going to
I
be
think it'll
credit
be
cards?
more. I think it'll be more like a digital thing where they have payphones and you can just tap your card or whatever, or use your
Could
chip
be.
on your card and be able to call. But here's my question to you both, to you and Jeff, Tammy. Why? Why would we need payphones? I mean, are the cell phones going to be shut off, or landlines going to be dead? Like, why would there be a need for payphones? That's pretty wild.
Well, I'll answer first, since mine is going to be the less educated answer compared to Jeff B. So mine is going to be, I'm going to say it's just to report crime or report things that you see and get immediate responses, and trying to keep up clean up the streets and keep them safe. And it's just easier access, quicker access maybe. That's the only thing I can think of.
How's that quick access when I hold my cell phone and I can take a video?
That's the only thing I can kind of
while
know.
bad shit's going down? Why would I run over to the corner and use a payphone? That makes no sense to me.
Well, I wish people wouldn't video it and go to a phone and call 911 or dial 911. People have a tendency to stand back and video instead of getting people help. So I don't know. That's the only thing I can come up with. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Jeff?
Well, one, there'll be hard lines, so all the lines in that will go through a CO. With New York City being so large, I just wonder, because Trump's talked about bringing in the National Guard into New York City. So is it going to be something that can be used by the National Guard if radios don't work, cell phones don't work? Because it's really odd. I mean, to have cell phones being installed on the streets is abnormal. But so there's some rhyme or reason to installing these, and I think it's a logistics. If they are going to deploy mass amount of military into New York City.
It just seems like it's going backwards.
I couldn't think of one good reason why they put payphones in. Not one.
Right.
And they're so dirty. They're dirty.
And it's not a conspiracy. I mean, they're all a Gateway Pundit. A lot of the online news is reporting that they're being installed, or the process of getting them installed is happening.
That's just wild to me. Again, I can't think of one good reason why they would put payphones anywhere in the world when everybody's got a cell phone. I mean, hell, even homeless people have cell phones, unless there was an EMP, which is our brother John Esterbrook is putting in there. RPM says martial law ? I don't know. I can't imagine why they would put anything like that in. It's just mind-boggling to me.
Right. Well, I think a lot of this is all leading up to possible civil unrest when they announce somebody's been indicted.
Again, but what good does the phone booth do you? Are you going to go in there and lock yourself in it? I mean, are you going to...
Well,
I don't understand the whole phone thing. I don't get it.
If you have no cell towers, if cell towers go down, if there is a communication blackout.
Well, if you're like in Philly or New York, you go, "Hey, yo, Jeff, you hear me?" when you stick your head out the window, like on Rocky, "Hey, yo." I mean, there's other ways of communicating, right?
Well, if you have
smoke signals, maybe.
If you have to dial 911, it may be simple as it's just going to be an emergency phone.
Well, that would make sense, if there's civil unrest and you want to make a call to report something. So My theory wasn't really that far off. 'Cause
Right.
This is the only thing that comes close to making any sense at all. But nothing going on it makes any sense really. I mean, it's like things blow up and there's all this information about it and then it sinks and goes away. We've moved on to so many things now with, Bolton, what's going on with him, the CIA directors being fired, the CDC, not CIA. It's like we keep moving from one thing to the next, and now Epstein stuff seems like long gone. Like there's nothing, nobody's thinking about that as much anymore. What happened to P. Diddy? What's going on with that? That just kind of faded out and blew. I don't understand.
I think it's on pause. I don't think anything is actually being dismissed. I truly believe it's just on pause. Jeff, what are your thoughts on what she's talking about with John Bolton? He was indicted. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff breaking on the internet right now about all this stuff.
Well, I think there was, and I can't confirm it, but I was told that when they raided Bolton, there was 5 other raids that were being, conducted. I mean, Bolton was his I think a lot of the Bolton stuff may come down to the Uranium One deal, where he was working with the foundation.
A certain foundation that's connected
Right.
to the frickin' Clintons.
Right.
Okay. Oh shit! I didn't say that. I'm sorry. I don't want to end up like that deer I saw the other day on the side of the road. That was
Right.
the Clinton side deer that was on the side of the road.
Well, and I think a lot of this is leading up to all these people that were being subpoenaed in front of Congress. That's if they show up. Now, if they don't show up, then they better do the same thing that they did to Bannon and go out and arrest them.
Yeah, there's no accountability. It's over with. Like
Right.
we have to see accountability. We have to see indictments. We have to see arrests. We have to see their day in court and prosecution, and then there has to be some penalty for that. When you break the law, and Hillary Clinton's emails are coming up again, over 30,000 emails. Like this stuff's starting to circulate again, and again. Trump only has less than 2 years to make certain things happen before, and it's a normal cycle. I'm hoping the cycle gets broke in 2026, but it's a normal cycle that when the incumbent is in office, we always lose a chamber or two. And right now we have all 3 chambers. We got the executive, we got the House and the Senate. But if we lose one of those 2 chambers, it's over with. It's a lame duck session for the last 2 years, and so I think there's a possibility that we retain both chambers. I really do. I think with what Trump is putting out there right now, and me and my tool partner had a great conversation today about this. He's making it to where Democrats. And I'd like to get both of your thoughts on this, but he's making it to where Democrats are actually condoning crime, saying crime is not bad. Mm-hmm. And he's exposing these people for what they truly are. With his rhetoric, with his tweets, with all of the stuff that, Trump does to get under people's skin and make them come out, they are now condoning crime, saying crime is not that bad, which to me, that sets us up for 2026, for the midterms. If Democrats are actually going to condone criminals and say they're not that bad, don't you think a lot of people are going to vote red or the right side to say, hey, these people are crazy. We don't want crime. We don't want illegals. We don't want all this stuff.
Well, you would hope so, especially those people that live in those Democratic-run cities, seeing the crime rates and seeing the abuses that go on just to the average citizen trying to walk through the city or just, conduct their day-to-day lives. So they are really doubling down on everything with saying that the crime's not bad, we have it under control. And, the Dems were in office, they could have had it all under control then, but we know all about all the different things, the Summer of Love 2020, all that everything's burned down, everything's about violence, everything's about bad stuff. So I'm hoping that, like I said, that they do learn a lesson and they see things for what they are and get over hating so-called Trump or the derangement syndrome, all that, because we have to think, and I always say this about, the next generations coming up. The stuff that has been going on with shootings and everything else has just been horrible. So, anyhow, I got sidetracked because I heard an ow. Did somebody's toe get bit or something?
No, I said no.
Oh, yeah. So, I hope that, we Americans are learning their lesson, and I hope that we all stick together and go together and realize, guess what? All these illegals in here is not a good idea. The drugs that are brought in this country, not a good idea. Open borders, all the policies from the past administration. I hope people are seeing they weren't good ideas at all.
Jeff, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a segment of the population that no matter what Trump does, good or bad, it's going to be bad. And a lot of this stuff, I think Trump's going to have to separate himself from it. And I truly think that we may see either in 2026 or 2028 where everybody in Congress has to go up for re-election.
That'd be sweet.
On paper ballots, no machines,
Yep.
and ID check.
That would be great. Let's hope that happens.
What do either one of you know about the stuff I've been seeing today and yesterday about them already closing, what is that, Gator Traz or whatever it's called?
Oh, Alcatraz, yeah.
What do you guys know about
Florida.
that?
Well, I heard that they were trying to close it, and some judge demanded they have 60 days or 90 days to close it or whatever, but then DeSantis wasn't going to do it, and it was already settled. But so it was like a lot.
For what reason? Why would they close it? They just built it 2 months ago.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, because I think this is the second time that this federal judge has tried to close it. The first time, it got slapped down. They say it's inhumane, and I don't even know how many people are even actually there yet.
Right, I don't know that they brought that many there because I heard that they were already moving the ones that were there out, and the judge is like, you can't bring any new people in, which is what they wanted to do. But some of the people there they could hold, but some other people they were shipping out already. It didn't make any sense to me when I read about it. It was just kind of weird.
Yeah, the whole thing is, I mean, and this is another instant where, Trump has said something outlandish and it's come true. I mean, if you'd have told me 3 years ago we were going to have a prison system in the middle of the alligator Everglades, I'd have said you were nuts.
I know. So, I don't know. That's the last I heard about it. But Joe Carroll said that because some of the inmates' family were making complaints and false ones. Yeah.
They're in prison. They to me, heck, let them try to get away an alligator alley, and I could care less if they get, I don't know,
eaten.
It
gets past where you have sympathy for people that are knowingly, willingly committing horrendous crimes, harming or unaliving people. Yeah, I know we're supposed to pray for people and all that, but, there's no accountability. That's why these people keep doing it.
Some people may pray that they get eaten by alligators. I'm not sure.
Right. Well, Trump did too sign an EO where no more cash bail. So let's hope they turn that into law, because that's a lot of reason they're in and out. They get, post cash bail. There's some things, actually a lot of things, especially I think my personal opinion is if you're a repeat offender, there's no cash bail. I don't care how small the crime, how big the crime, because once can be a mistake, so-called mistake, but any more than that, it's intentional.
Yeah. What else was on your... you had something big that you wanted to talk about tonight, Tammy. Don't forget.
Oh, that with the wealth transfer.
The
That's
transfer of wealth. I thought that was pretty interesting.
But that we can do that towards the end because that's a happy, joy thing. So let's talk about the CDC. So the CDC director chief was fired, Susan Monterez. Yes. So she was saying, I am not going to step down. She refuses to accept that. Basically, she has been in that role in less than a month. Now, her background, and these are just different names. And when we talk about how there's so much corruption, this is what I'm talking about. So many different cases are going to go to court or litigation or accusations and, subpoenas and all that. So she was involved with the deep state. She was involved with the gain of function, also the bioweapons research. And basically RFK Jr., said, that's it. You're fired. Get out, and along with 4 other top officials, I believe. Well, he said that her attorneys are saying that RFK Jr., of course, is weaponizing the public health for political gain. But that was not Bobby's first choice in the first place because of her history, because of her gain of function, because of the bioweapons research she was involved in. There was a guy named Dave Walden that is who he wanted. But because of Biden putting in these special actions and orders, they had to go through a voting thing. And this guy could not get the vote, so he didn't even get a hearing or anything like that. But they did just announce somebody, CDC director, who is it they just put in place? That's what I wanted to talk about. They just did picks Jim O'Neill, a top deputy to RFK Jr., to serve as the acting CDC director. She was ousted over vaccine policies and stuff like that. Her attorneys are saying they're using it against her because she wouldn't sign all these things about vaccines that they wanted her to, so it was a bunch of crap. Now then we move over to Lisa Cook, who is the Federal Reserve governor. She was also fired. She also said she's not stepping down. Now, she is charged with alleged mortgage fraud. And since she is in control and the top regulator to prevent mortgage fraud and not allowing that, yet she's charged with that in a sense, or allegedly did that. She shouldn't be there. So my point is, these things are coming down the pipes of people being accused of things and alleged of things, but there's paperwork behind it. It's not just random things that they're charging people with or saying things. It is totally legit. So anyways, they serve a 14-year term. Lisa Cook said, you can't fire me. I'm not stepping down. So these are kind of the cases, because remember months back we were talking about how this litigation is going to really tie up the courts. Trump only has a short period of time, and that ties into what you said earlier, that we have to get this stuff moving and get it over with. We don't have time to waste with this stuff. So let's just hope that these cases get handled quickly, and no matter what the judges do, maybe they flip their decisions over, because it's always against what Trump is doing, but in the end he wins, but it does clog up the system. So that's what's going on too as well. Trump is like, you're fired, and they're not listening.
Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, look at I think he just fired 1 or 2 of the from the Federal Reserve, the Board of Governors, and the one person said that they weren't going to leave. So you have a lot of these guys that just, they don't believe that they can be fired.
How's that even possible? Like, if they get fired, how can they just stay? I mean, wouldn't you call security and have them escorted off the premises?
Yeah, that's what you would think. But
and think about this. The CDC, okay, they failed us miserably with, the whole sickness and everything.
Yeah, I don't even listen to anything the CDC says anymore until the day I die and I'm buried in the ground. I will never listen to the CDC for anything.
So that's, this lady's complaining about all this going on against her and her colleagues, yet none of them did us any good, or their backgrounds weren't doing any good for us. It wasn't choice, it was dictation. And we all know the cabafle that was, and how they kept flip-flopping on mask, flip-flopping on this, flip-flopping on that. So, of course, we don't want anybody in there that had anything to do with that. And this is the thing. She's saying, well, what happens if there's another pandemic? Guess what? Nobody's going to listen to you anyway if there is.
Shout out to my buddy Skip. Things are not looking good in Florida right now.
Because
it's 24/7 right now. It's not good.
oh gosh, we're pulling sports into politics. You're so sad. He's gonna be all sad now. Here we go.
I'm not gonna be happy if it doesn't change, and it's almost the end of the third quarter. Shit better change real quick. That's all I got to say.
And, I wanted to ask Jeff about this, too. This is the other thing I wanted to kind of cover was the federal government taking over D.C.'s Union Station, because that's where Trump had that cabinet meeting in the middle of their, that 3.5 hour, it was the longest cabinet meeting ever. And I did watch bits and pieces of it, but I love those because it is transparency. You hear and see exactly what they're saying and what's going on. But apparently there's a lot of repairs that need to be done and stuff there. So that's why they're taking it over to make it better. I guess the DOT, Department of Transportation, has owned the building since like the 80s, but it's been derelict and it's kind of crumbling and everything else. It's disrepair. So he wants to make that new again, and I love that. It looked good from where they were having the cabinet meeting at, but I think he's getting some throwback about that too as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is going to encompass too the 250th anniversary coming up July 4th. Because Trump said it's going to be the biggest birthday party that the U.S. has had.
Yeah, that's right. That's
So-
right.
And Tammy, didn't you tell me something about there's supposed to be something that's gonna pop off in September? Which I don't ever hold my breath on any of that shit. Just to be clear with the audience. But didn't you say there was something going on in September?
That's my the article that just came out about the massive wealth transfer. They said could begin
so we're saving
September
that, right?
1st.
Pause.
Yeah, just a little bit more because I want to see what Jeff has to say about that. So back up that train.
All right. Beep, beep, beep.
Well,
Yeah, and DC also, to tie into this, Jeff, I know that you have contacts there and stuff, but apparently the crime has plummeted down to over 45%, and there's videos out there that are showing how peaceful and good it is out there. Like, there was a guy actually that was taunting some of the policemen or guardsmen, whatever you want to call them out there, and they were just standing there just letting them go off, and he was just mouthing off at them, and they just went up and arrested him, and it was amazing. So I guess the question I have for you, from the people that you talk to, are people in DC, the majority of people, happy about this? Not the politicians, obviously, on the other side, but the general people walking the areas and that tour there.
Well, a lot of the guys that work in federal law enforcement, whether they're agents or administrative, they say it does have a different feel. And a lot of DC Metro has a different feel because basically they report to Donald Trump. The chief of police now reports to Trump. So you're even seeing some TikTok videos and Facebook shorts of the people who live in DC said this is the first time they've been able to walk outside after dark and not worry about getting hit with a bullet.
Mm-hmm. So when you stop and think about this, when I don't know, maybe I think differently than some people, but when I see the pictures and I see the National Guard there, I see the police there, it doesn't instill fear or dictatorship to me. It makes me feel safe, and I love that. Even in the little town I'm at, we have a lot of police around, and there's crime here. What person doesn't want crime out of their city. Like you said, why wouldn't you want, DC is a beautiful place, wonderful buildings and all that. Why wouldn't you want it safe to walk around there? Like these politicians that are talking out of their rear end about the crime's not bad and we need to get him out of here and this is ridiculous, he better not come to my city, is insanity to me.
Well, crime's a big business for them. You know, they get federal funding to come in, and I'm sure some of that money gets laundered.
Absolutely. Hey, I just want to let everybody know I went ahead and turned the phones on in case anybody wants to call in. The phone lines are now open, 620-317-1776. If anybody wants to call and make comment, ask question, the lines are open. I thought I'd open them for just a few minutes and see if anybody wants to call in, Tammy.
Oh, that's a good idea. And Diane said President T ordered the marshal to drag Lisa Cook out of the office she's in. You know, I want to see that. Let's that be filmed. You know what I mean? And see, these people are they just are so used to having power and control and their butts covered by judges and court systems and everything else that they just don't believe that they can be touched. And it's ridiculous. Oh, Skip, you can't put that in there anymore. Skip, just don't put.
I'm watching, Skip. I'm watching on my phone right now. It's not looking good. It's not a good way to start the season.
No. Yes, and you're right, Cheryl. It is our capital city, and it should be grand. It should be beautiful. It should be wonderful. You know, the days of the White House looking dirty and nasty and having half-naked people and all that it did from the last administration was shameful. And I don't know about you guys, but did you see, I love the Oval Office now. There are pictures out there of the Oval Office before and now, and Trump has it all gold in there. And I know gold is not everybody's cup of tea, but it looks classy and beautiful and wonderful in there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it especially if you have world leaders that come to DC and, you know, they pull up to 1600 and their security detail has to rush them in because they're afraid of a stray bullet.
Yeah,
I know, right? Oh, and to catch up too with Putin and Zelensky, that's a hot mess too. And I don't know if Jeffrey, you have the update, but you know they were supposed to meet and all this was going to be fine and dandy, and then Trump was going to intervene, or I guess not intervene, but kind of referee between the two, yeah. Right? That kind of blew up, didn't it?
Yeah, I think the whole Putin trip to Alaska made no sense. I mean, Trump, I think it was like a 6.5 hour flight. Putin was, I don't know, 11, 13 hours. You meet for 2.5 hours and yeah, hey, thanks, buddy. See you later. It made no sense. Yeah. So there was something else, I'm sure, that happened during that meeting. But the whole, Ukraine thing, and now you got, last night you had Israel dropping in special forces into Syria. I think they said there was 50 Israeli helicopters that went in. So I'm sure there's going to be something happening there. I don't know. And with all these daily, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a day, these shootings that are going on, it seems like to me they're laying groundwork for something.
Yeah.
I would agree with Jeff.
Yeah, it's been very sad, and we have to also remember to keep everybody in our thoughts and prayers from the whole thing that happened at the Catholic Church the other day, and the children and stuff that were hurt and stuff, and that brings into the frame the mayor of Minneapolis. Excuse me, was talking about we shouldn't bring, when things like this happen with shootings and that, we shouldn't talk about the group or the person that made the offense and attack them. We should just realized that these things happen. And it was so shameful what he had stated, because this person that did this was a trans person. His name was Robert, and he transed in 2018 or 2019 and became Robert. And his manifesto came out just before we went on the air, and he talks about, he said, I only keep long hair because it's pretty. Much of my last shred of being trans. I am tired of being trans. I wish I never brainwashed myself. So more and more now we're seeing all these stories of people that are upset that they did that to themselves.
Yeah, I can't even watch this shit no more. I gotta turn this
Well,
on.
yeah, and I think it was the mayor where he said the families, or we don't need to pray for them because they were praying and it didn't work.
No, that's...
Oh, that was Jen
there.
Penske, the last press secretary. She said that too.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, we
we'll
don't-
circle back?
Yeah. Yeah, she said that, Jeff. Yep.
It's
That's
disgusting.
wild. That is
I know.
disgusting.
So once again, they're not even supporting these people that had these tragedies, lost children, injured children, and whatnot. They're all talking about don't group people, don't bring out the type of person that does this. And it's just people, I hope, wake up. I mean, they have to wake up because that was such a tragedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's shift gears, Tammy. Let's talk about the transfer of wealth before we get out of here tonight, because we're rolling up here on 45 minutes. I know that we went 10 minutes early tonight. Tammy and I were sitting in the back. We're like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get her done. So
Okay, let's go ahead and go to the article. It just came out not that long ago, like I said, right before we went on tonight. And basically, it's the hugest wealth transfer. They say it's happening September 1st. It said it could be
not the hugest, the biggest.
You just
the hugest. That's what Trump says. Huge. It's huge.
I know he says that, but let's try to talk with proper English, even though I'm a redneck, as crazy as hell.
You guys, okay, do you understand how crazy the world is?
Man, that feels good to correct somebody.
LW
That
is
really
actually
feels good to correct somebody.
He's actually telling me how to speak. I am gonna pass out. All right, the largest massive wealth transfer,
Thank you.
not the
Thank you.
hugest. I was
All right,
speaking
baby.
like Trump. Anyways, they say mark your calendar. It said it could be the most important date for American investors in over a century. This is on Gateway Pundit. That's when the government could begin the largest release of national wealth since Lincoln's Homestead Act of 1862.
Come on
Jim-
now.
Huh?
Come on now.
Jim Rickards, former advisor to the CIA, Treasury, and Pentagon, just revealed the stunning details in an emergency presentation that's sending shockwaves through Washington. What Trump has set in motion defies belief. We're about to see a monetary event unlike any in history. Trump is preparing to unlock what he calls a national endowment. It's worth at least $150 trillion. That, just so you have an idea of how much money that is, it's enough money to buy every company on the NASDAQ, every private home in America, and every Bitcoin in existence with trillions left over. But they're saying this isn't a government handout program. This
How
is
much
about
did you say it was, Tammy?
150 trillion. He's going to do some math back there because that's what he does. He likes math. Right? Yep. I'll keep going. But this isn't some government handout
My
program.
calculator doesn't even go up to that.
It
My
says this is
calculator doesn't even go up to that. So if I take it as far as I can and divide that by 360 million,
yeah. Well, it says that
that would
it's
still leave us. Yeah, my calculator doesn't even go up that high.
it's huge. It's huge.
It's huge.
Your calculator doesn't
Huge.
even cover it. It says it's about unleashing America's vast mineral wealth that's been locked up by environmental regulations or decades. The government controls 250 million acres of land containing world-class deposits of copper, lithium, and gold and rare earth metals. Resources worth more than the GDP of every other nation combined. So we've heard, didn't you say that before, that word wealth transfer, Jeff B.,
yeah,
back in the day?
yeah.
So what do you think?
Well, I think some of this is the asset forfeiture, where this money's coming from tariffs and from that nice big wire transfer from the Fang family in China.
Well, they brought in billions. They brought in billions, or Trump has so far with those tariffs. And remember the panic people were in over the tariffs? It was incredible. And that's faded away. People aren't comfortable with change, but sometimes you need massive change to get things right. And I think change is good. Otherwise, we get too comfortable. We get in the position that we've been in, and now we're trying to climb our way out of it. And it's taken a long time. But like we said, you go back to Bolton and all this stuff. You know, Bolton was charged back in Trump's first administration. Bill Barr did an investigation. Nothing came of it. Here we are dealing with it again. So much time, effort, money is wasted for nothing to come in fruition. So that's why I think with this administration, with the time that Trump has left, it is crucial that we don't waste time, we get stuff done. And that's what he keeps saying. That's why he kept signing so many EOs. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get her done.
And I don't know where the article was, but I did see a news outlet report that their view is, with everything that Trump's doing, it seems more and more likely that he invoked the Insurrection Act because he's not getting pushback.
Wouldn't that be something?
Right.
Wouldn't that be something?
So all these years later, all the things, and I said this to LW not long ago. We were having a conversation, and I said all the stuff that is coming to fruition now that people talked about isn't coming to fruition the way they thought, but it is actually coming into fruition. A lot of it, a lot of the verbiage that we heard before is there, but the timeline and the way it's being done isn't the same, which makes me happy because I've always said all along, we, the average person, should not know the gory details. We can think it and hope it, but if we know the gory details, so does the enemy, and that's absolutely what we don't want to happen.
Right. Well, now you have, I think, starting Monday, which is September 1st, you have all these protests that are going to start against Trump.
Ooh.
And I was talking to Monkey yesterday, and where these protests are at, or planning to start, the military has put up a lot of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance balloons and flights.
Oh.
So I think they're going to be watching for something to go sideways.
Interesting. Well, I like that. It's the good guys protecting us, so I don't mind that at all. Look as much as you want. I'm over China, Facebook, and everybody else watching us when they lied to us about it, censoring us and everything else. It's about time the good people are up there doing it and taking care of business.
I don't think China's censoring us. I think the deep state is censoring us.
No, yeah, China was always listening in on us, remember? Though.
Right.
They can listen in on me anytime they want. Hell, I'll even try to speak Chinese for them if you want. Like, chung tang tang twang. There you go.
Goofy. See what happens when he gets behind sunglasses.
Right.
But anyways, that's about all
I love watching like Chinese movies where they get all freaking like I'm just like
upset.
Upset, and then I like trying to make shit up what they're saying.
Well, you know what the best TV to watch is North Korean propaganda. That is, oh my God, that is the best ever. Yeah.
They're super animated. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, and everyone's got a notepad, and when little Rocket Man walks by, they're all taking notes, and they have to think in the back of their head, this is all bullshit.
100%. 100%. That's true, Esther Brooks. I think, Soros, that could be true because Trump just came out and said that he should be held on RICO for all the funding that he did. Did you guys hear that too?
Oh yeah, I think him and his son were indicted.
I think they're also looking at Fauci too.
Oh, I think Fauci's already been grand juried.
Oh yeah.
I think they need to show him swinging.
I just can't wait. I mean, I can't wait. You know, I gave up for a little while. I kind of backed away and everything, but now things are getting exciting again. And, you know, no matter what, you know, Trump just still hasn't stopped doing what he's always done, working 24/7. I mean, his days are insane compared to anybody's days. The man is just a machine. He just
Thank
works
you, Gary.
like crazy.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Yeah.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes, even though I have the man voice tonight, so don't mind me. I do. I was telling LW that earlier. I said, if we do a show, I'm going to do the best and grid of my man voice, but it didn't work too well.
Yeah. It's been a fun night. Anything that either one of you would like to cover before we start thinking about final thoughts? I still think Obama's going to be the first that gets arrested. John Estabrook's put Obama there in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe that he's going to be number one and Hillary Clinton's going to be number two.
Yeah, I think this is why the Pentagon has divided the United States into 4 deployment districts for rapid reaction forces. They put it on their website that this was being done because there will be unrest. I mean, this is all pointing to, I believe, by this year, because Trump's going to be out of time. It's going to be gone before we know it.
Yep.
Yes.
And if they are going to set up to where it's all paper ballots, no machines, it's a limited time now.
Which would be sweet.
Oh, I think it's going to be done. It has to be. I mean, that's one of the biggest national security issues for this country. And you're not going to be able to, use show an ID to vote's racist. That horse has been beat.
Yes. To death. Yes. Well, I'm liking that J.D. Vance was asked about being the president and running for president. He said, not long ago, it was too early to think about that we have stuff to get taken care of. However, just think yesterday or today he made a comment that if Trump's health declines, which I thought was very interesting, that he is ready and able to become president, that he's not worried about it. So I found that a very interesting comment.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you guys don't have anything else that you want to put out there, I will encourage both of you to take a moment to think about your final thoughts as I address the audience tonight. Do us a favor, please hit that like button, subscribe, and more importantly, share us out. We are still trying to build back from all the censorship that has been happening to us for the last 4 or 5 years. One of the fastest growing podcast YouTube channels out there a couple years back, and they have completely taken us down, censored us, done all things. So every like, every subscription that we can get out there helps us come back. Lots of people have been looking for us for years and still can't find us. So your help is much appreciated. I'm going to go to ladies first tonight. Tammy, for your final thought, and then I'll hit Jeff.
Well, I'm very optimistic, again, in the fact that a lot of the punch and power that the Dems and liberals had with all the different issues that we didn't agree with, that was not pro-America. It was pro-other countries, or pro-tolerate because I want to be a transgender, but, I'm not going to tolerate you wanting to be straight. Tolerate me being called a tree, but I'm not going to tolerate you being a Christian. All that power has seemed to flip and gone away. They seem like they're in disarray. They seem like they're losing ground, that they can't get organized, because they used to be very organized. That's the one thing they always had on us, the Republican people. They stuck together, and I don't see that anymore. And I believe a lot of people are coming out of that brain fog that they were in as they see the results and the actions and the paperwork of all this litigation going on, and the people that they once trusted and thought, what, the CDC and COVID and all that, they wanted the best for us. They realizing that isn't true at all. So I think and I believe that people are starting to come to their senses. Some people.
Jeff, your final thought?
Yeah, I think over the next few weeks we are going to see a lot of open show of indictments and raids, just by the conversation that Trump had with the press when the press asked Trump, was he informed about the Bolton raid, and Trump told the press that he had told Cash Patel and the DOJ he don't want to know about it. If the evidence is there, you can prove a case, do what needs to be done. And I don't even think we are at a eighth of the fire hose yet.
Oh, Jeff, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Really
Yep, thank
appreciate
you.
it. I know we talk every day on our group chat, but do appreciate you joining us tonight. And we'll have to do this again next week. Find some time to do
Sure.
it. So thank you, sir. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Thank you.
Here's what we've been saying. Jeff's been saying this. We've been saying this for years. I'm gonna say it tonight because I kind of think it's appropriate, and I haven't said it for a long time. So I hope Jeff sticks around to hear what I'm about to say. I'm gonna say this: stock your shelves with lots of microwave popcorn or whatever type of popcorn you want, because I truly believe, get your popcorn ready because shit's about to go down, and the best is yet to come. And that's my final thought for tonight.
Awesome. And caramel popcorn. I've advanced it. I'm sick of butter popcorn. I need caramel.
All right, Tammy. Well, thanks for joining us, Jeff. Thanks for joining us, Tammy. I was going to play the outro on the way out, but I can't figure out how to get this sound. So I'm just going to hit the kill switch, and we're going to be done for tonight. And we'll tell you folks, we'll try to make it a point to be back next week to wrap up with some updates and stuff that Jeff shares with us during the week. And Jeff usually shares stuff with us daily with our group chat. So we'll be happy to come back. And here we are rolling from the end of summer. We're starting to roll into fall, which means we're going to get busier on this channel because it's going to get cold outside. So I know Tammy's starting to think about a few things, and so am I. And it's been a pleasure to host this tonight and to have all you wonderful people there in chat watching us. Again, hit that like button, subscribe, share us out. We're climbing back slowly but surely. We'll get there. So thanks for joining us, Tammy, and putting this all together.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so fun tonight. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Hopefully, please pray for Tammy. She gets feeling better, and I'll talk to you later, Tammy.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
All right. Bye.